Hello, and thank you for joining me for another Patrick Michael tutorial. We are continuing our series of no-code automations, and in this particular tutorial, we are going to do some LLM image analysis. And we're going to do some image analysis and compare the results between Vision and the newer ChatGPT 4.0 model or 4 Omni, and the ChatGPT 4 model, the paid version. And for our comparison, we are going to be using the ChatGPT web interface, and then we're going to compare the results using Zapier. The reason we are comparing these two environments is logging into ChatGPT and analyzing an image via that method is really not that useful because you can actually see the image yourself. Whereas using Zapier, we are moving into the automation space, and it might be a more useful use case where you are intercepting an email trigger and that email has an attachment and you want to analyze that attachment. So just in more detail, what we are attempting, we are going to do an image analysis using the ChatGPT web interface, and there we will analyze the GPT 4.0, and we will analyze GPT 4. That's the premium paid version. Then we will go along and analyze the same image using Zapier automations, and here we want to see the difference in the result using Zapier, and we will use the GPT Vision event, and we will use the conversation with 4.0, and we will use the same conversation using GPT 4. As a bonus, we will compare the image analysis with a file analysis. So we will just compare the results we get here, but with a PDF of the same image. We are going to be using quite a complex graphic. We're going to be analyzing this graphic. It's the front page of a promotion by Macro, and it has a heck of a lot of detail in it. Lots and lots of product, lots of information, and we're going to see how we can extract that. And this is the PDF that we're going to use in the file analysis, exactly the same, but it's just the PDF. And then as a warm-up, we're going to be analyzing this graphic. It is also it's also a macro banner, and it has various products on it with month-end essentials. So we're going to warm up using this graphic and analyzing this. So we're going to have a bit of fun with this. So what you need. So yes, we need the two graphics to send as an attachment or send via the interface, the web interface. We need a Gmail account and a Drive, Google Drive. If you have a Gmail, you typically will have Drive as well. You need a Zapier account, the Pro version. They do have a 14-day free trial. And the reason we need Pro is we are using Premier Zaps, and we're doing some quite complex stuff. So, and we also need an OpenAI API access with credit. So we've already covered the setup of these in a previous video, and if you look down in the notes, you will see links to these videos. So we have shown you how to set up your Zapier account and create a new Zap, and we have shown you how to set up an OpenAI API access and create an API key. So when we go and look at the zaps, the flow for all the zaps is quite simple. We send the graphic to an email, and we intercept that email with a search string. So email matching search, and we will look at those triggers. We upload that attachment to a drive in Google, to a Google Drive as a file. And then we have a conversation with GPT, either using the vision event or the conversation event. And then based on the output of that, we then send the result or the reports in a Gmail. So that's the flow. So if we just go and look at the zaps, we have 3 zaps that we're going to be working with. These 3. The first one here is the one that we're going to use to analyze the little banner, and then the catalog we analyze with 4.0 with that one, and experiment with the vision with that one. So before we get into that, let's hop over and do an analysis with GPT itself through the web interface. So let's create a new chat using 4.0, and we should have our drive already connected. Okay, so we were able to connect our Google Drive, and the files are in this raw uploads folder. And there is the little graphic we want to connect to. And let's go and grab our prompt. So this is the prompt that we're going to be using for the general image analysis. And it's quite a detailed prompt. I cannot emphasize enough that in this space, the better your prompt, the better your result. So even though we are using image analysis, we're still assigning a role, and we're telling it is a expert in analyzing images and extracting text from the image. So your capability to interpret and extract text from images. We then reinforce, I like to reinforce the role with specific skills that enhance the role capacity. And we're giving it the skill of contextual adaptability. You have this unique ability to work with a wide range of images while maintaining accuracy. We have another skill of text extraction expertise. You excel in this, and you have a skill in that you are accurate and precise. So we embellish the role with these specific skills. Then we give it the task, and carefully analyze the attached image. And we then ask it to give a contextual overview of the image, and we ask it to identify text elements, and then we identify the product in the image, and relate appropriate text elements to the product. So we're wanting to see if it can identify product and identify the text on the product. Then we have this little statement here where we're telling it to avoid guessing or making up product names. And if you do not recognize the product, just state this by saying product unrecognized. And then we have this little step here where we ask it to evaluate the confidence level of the output between 0 and 5. 5 is highly confident, and 0 is not confident at all. Then we format the output. We want the overview, and there we're saying enter the overview, contextual overview, and we want to output in table format with product, text elements, and confidence value. Then we just reinforce the prompt with some notes, just to tell it to avoid making or guesses, work carefully. And this is a little emotion prompt technique, saying your response is critical, your output is critical to the success of my career. So that's the prompt we're going to use. So let's just copy this, general. So we're going to copy from there to there. Copy that, Control C, go to GPT. So we connect it to the image, and we are going to, and we are using for Omni. And here the overview. Okay, so it's done a pretty good job. The image is an advertisement banner featuring various grocery products displayed on a kitchen counter. The theme is focused on promoting month-end essentials, encouraging customers save on pantry items. The design uses a bright yellow background, bold black text, and that all looks good. Text elements, month-end essentials, save on all your pantry essentials, shop now, fresh pack. So it's giving an overview, and then on the table, it's got fresh pack rooibos tea. And then interestingly enough, it's a product unrecognized. If we look at the file we sent it, it's got Oros, fresh pack. It recognized this. So rooibos tea, there we go. Detergent, yes. Orange squash, yes. Jacob's coffee, yes. Coup baked beans, yes. Canola oil, yes. And the product unrecognized is this in the background. Okay, great. All right. Confidence 5, except for that one, which is 4. Okay, good. Let's change the model and go for GPT-4 and see what output we get here. Interestingly enough, for Omni actually did a better result, because 4 did not pick up the toilet rolls in the background. It was a little bit more accurate on the text elements, but not much. That's very interesting. So those two models actually came up pretty much the same. All right. So let's move on to our. So this response was the same. I'm going to just ask it to rerun this. I'm going to see. I'm going to rerun it. All right. So now it's actually doing a bit of code first. Aha. All right. On the rerun, it did a better job of it, because it picked up the toilet rolls, and it was a little bit more detailed with the text output. All right, and I was hoping that would happen on the first run, but it didn't. So this just identifies the fact that the LLMs are not consistent with their outputs. Their outputs do vary, and this fact needs to be taken into account when we are actually generating systems using LLMs. So I'm just going to pause this video quickly and get the emails ready to actually run the tests through Zapier. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I have prepared my 3 emails. So let's just remember that we are sending to an email account, a Gmail account, and we are intercepting those Gmails based on a search string. If we look at in the subject, the normal image with a little banner, we want the trigger. So as long as that is in the subject, as long as this is in the subject, it will trigger that email. And with the vision, the complex catalog image, that there is the trigger in the subject. And with the 4.0, we want that in the subject. So those are the triggers that will set off the emails. All right, so this is the first one that is going to send the banner, and we're going to be using the vision model. So let's send that now. Let's hop over to our Gmail account, and there it is. So there's the new email, and now the new's gone. So we know that the trigger has actually happened. So that's the Zap that has just been triggered. Um, and we should see that, and there we go. There has there is the report that has come via email, and the table doesn't look great. It's not a bad run. It has extracted some pretty good detail, better than when we actually used the interface. Our interpretation. Using the automation, it's actually given a comparable output. It's different, and I suppose that's the thing, is what we need to analyze. What's the difference before making a choice? But it definitely does give a pretty good output just using the Zapier interface. I think what has made a difference here, and this is where the automations play a role. So if we go and look at the Zap, and we look at the conversation with GPT, there's the prompt. It's the same prompt. There's the file. But I've given it a max tokens of 1,000. So the fact that I've given it, and typically the max tokens would be around 250. So I've tokens here, max tokens. This would typically be 250. I've given it 1,000. So the fact that I've beefed that up a little bit, I think has an impact on the output. And I say that because previous runs I've had it at 250 and the output has been truncated. All right, so let's now run one of the other tests, one of the other emails. All right, this is using Vision 4.0, so that's not the email we want to run now. Okay, so this is using the same vision model, but using it, sending a complex catalog image. So let's send that one. And taking its time. There we go. Okay, so there is the new with the, and as we can see, the new is gone, so the trigger has been initiated, and we are using this Zap. So we should get an email report. Yes, okay, so now, right, great, so that's now come through. So we are analyzing the catalog image, so let's just go and have a look at it. Image in. So what do we got? We've got a TV here, we've got a computer, we've got a fridge, we've got another TV. This is a game console, there's a stove. So TV, Hisense 55-inch, 4K, save 7,000. All right, so it's done a pretty good job. Laptop, Asus, yes. VivoBook, yeah. It's done a pretty good job. And it's even picking up the 50% off ladies and men's knitwear. Okay. Sports fleece tops, hoodies, jackets, ladies and men's slippers. It's done a pretty good job of that as well. All right, so that's actually not bad. So let's keep this open and let's send our last image analysis, and this is sending it to Vision 4.0. And let's just send that now. And there it is, and it's still new, and the new is gone. So now we know that that has been triggered. The Zap that has been triggered is this one, which looks identical, but it's just using a conversation with 4.0 as opposed to the Vision model. So while that's loading, so let's go across to our inbox and see if that image, that new report has come yet. Nothing yet. Let's just check some runs here. Last 24 hours. Done. Refresh. Okay, I think this Zapier records are a little bit slow. There we go. Okay, it's waiting, delayed. All right, so it has run, but it's been delayed a little bit. What is it doing? Okay, there we go. So now it's run. So we should get our email in the inbox now. And there it is. So this is using 4.0. And the detail is significantly more. Okay, before we have draw any conclusions, let's just do our final little test, which is going across to creating a new chat, and we're going to actually link to the PDF as a file. So that's actually the same catalog, but as a PDF. Now we want to push our prompt through. Okay, so I have found our prompt, and it's very similar to the image prompts, except we are telling it that it is good at text parsing and analysis. And it is very good at working with files, and we say one of the file types it's good at working is PDF files, but it has also a formatting expertise, and we keep the accuracy and precision. So the prompt is very similar. It's just tweaked a little bit towards analyzing and extracting data from a text file. Or, I mean, a file such as a PDF, not necessarily a text file. It's good at using Word, Excel. So in this case, we're using a PDF. So let's just copy this and pop it into GPT using the web interface. All right, so it's got its brand, correct, macro, halfway day, 3 days only. Okay, so that information is pretty much spot on, as were the other image analysis of the image. Okay, it's not picking up the brand name. So it's not picking up the brand name, and it's also not picking up this 50% off. Not picking up this 50% off-ish promotion down the bottom. Let's tweak this prompt a little bit. Let's tweak this prompt. Let me just see. Task. Identify the brand name, title, details, and slogan. Okay, I am asking it for brand name. Table, format, product type. I haven't put brand name into the table format. So, all right. So I'm going to product type, brand name, product name. It's probably okay. Let's leave it at that. Brand name, product name was probably confusing it there. So, but let's just tweak it like this for now. Let's just tweak it exactly like that. And let's just add that in here. Table, product. So we're going to add in brand name there. And let's see what this does. Unrecognized. All right. Now that's useful output. And I actually know the reason why it's unrecognized. Let's just run its thing. It's picking up most of the products. It's just not recognizing the brand, and again, it hasn't picked up that 40%, that 50% promotion at the bottom. I'm going to now just use GPT-4 and let's see what difference that happens, what that makes. It's picking up the brand as Steel Hill, which is not correct. Shall we? This is very interesting. There we go. That's correct. So where is it picking up Steel Hill? The bottom here, Steel Hill. And that's not correct. So again, discrepancy. After discrepancy after discrepancy. So that was a very interesting exercise. I think what we can say is that before I wrap this up, I'm going to the reason why it's not picking up brand name is because if we look at, and remember this last test was actually analysis of the PDF. I'm going to go to this section here, typex here. This is actually a graphic. So they haven't used text here. And when we do a file analysis, it's analyzing the text of the PDF, where actually this is a graphic, and this as well is a graphic. It's not actually text, and that's the reason why it's not picking it up. So what can we deduce? There is great. While there is a general level of accuracy across image analysis and text analysis using the different models, there are also significant discrepancies in the analysis, which, if you're using this sort of analysis on an ad hoc basis, is fine because you can actually check against the image and you can make a decision. But if you're using this analysis in some form of automation, there's a difference between the vision and the text. Discrepancies are popping up all over the place, and the discrepancies are not consistent. So to use this kind of process in an automation where the accuracy of the analysis is dependent, or the downstream actions or downstream workflows are dependent on the accuracy of this analysis, we will not get a consistent result. And I think this is one of the key issues of using LLMs, automations or LLM automations, the issue of accuracy in or consistency in results. So thank you for watching. This has been an eye-opener for me. A big part of these tutorials is to start understanding capacity. It's to start understanding consistency. And yeah, I think we've achieved quite a nice, rounded observation of the GPT-4 models in terms of vision. We didn't analyze using Claude. Perhaps we'll do that in another video. So please give me some comments. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you need help with your Zapier automations or prompt engineering, please hop over to my website and contact me via the contact form. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.